There's no tougher job than being a mom. When I think about what Michelle's had to do, when I think about my own mom, a single mother raising me and my sister, that's work.
President Obama, his comments prompted by a minor controversy started by Helen Rosen. She's a Democratic strategist. The Democratic National Committee says is not involved with the president's campaign, but nonetheless rekindled the mommy argument, so-called, when she made some negative comments about Ann Romney being a stay-at-home mom. Will it hurt the president's campaign? Let's talk with Steve Roberts, ABC political analyst, about this. What's your take on it, Steve?
Look, I think this is a very stupid thing that this Democratic consultant Hillary Rosen said. You can argue that she's not an official spokesman for the campaign and all of that, but the truth is, one of the reasons why that story resonated is it plays into an existing suspicion that there are, at least in some elitist feminists and Democratic ranks, who do look down on stay-at-home moms. The whole core argument behind feminism was to give women choices and to respect those choices, and including the decision to stay home with kids. But Hillary Rosen sort of reignited this suspicion among some conservatives that feminists look down on women who decide to stay home. And, stories resonate if they play into an existing storyline. When Mitt Romney says, "My wife drives 2 Cadillacs," people say, yeah, right, that just, she's this rich lady who's disconnected. Well, this is a story that says there are at least some Democrats who do not understand and disrespect stay-at-home moms, and that's why that story resonated so well. And the other factor was that the Romney campaign very cleverly and rapidly promoted and publicized the story. It tells me that they're in the ball game and that they're ready for the full campaign.
So a week ago, we were talking about how the polls were showing that President Obama scoring well with women voters. Does this cause serious damage for him?
Not lasting damage, I don't think. He immediately disassociated himself from the comments and denounced them. But it does show that there's a vulnerability here. Let's remember, Paul, that the women's vote is not monolithic in any way. A big part of the Democratic lead, and as much as 16, 18 points in some polls, is based largely on single women. Young working women, older women who are widowed and more economically vulnerable, married women with children like Ann Romney actually vote a lot like their husbands. And so the trick for the Romney campaign is not to win the women's vote, because they're not going to do that. But if they can minimize the Democratic advantage, if they can get some of those stay-at-home moms to raise doubts about Obama, that's going to help them. And so we're going to keep having this conversation between now and November, because the women's vote is absolutely critical. But always remember, it's not monolithic.
How's Mitt Romney doing with the conservative base, and what does he have to do to win them over?
Well, I think that the unifying emotion of beating Barack Obama is the single biggest thing he has going for him. I saw this morning in Politico a quote from the shrewd Republican Senator Lindsey Graham saying the main emotion in Republican ranks is not electing Mitt Romney, it's defeating Barack Obama. Conservatives are not in love with Mitt Romney, and they're never going to be in love with Mitt Romney. He's a Massachusetts moderate, has been, always will be, in the words of Newt Gingrich. But I think on some level they are strongly unified behind their hatred of Obama. Over the weekend, former Vice President Dick Cheney, to take one example, spoke publicly for the first time since his heart operation out in Wyoming, called Obama an unmitigated disaster for the country. And that's a universal feeling in Republican ranks. There's still uneasiness about Romney, and yes, there are in conservative ranks, but they all hate Obama.
ABC Steve Roberts. Steve, thank you.
Good to talk to you.